Samuel Eto'o is arguably Africa's greatest gift to football, and his achievements on the pitch have been impossible to replicate. For the Cameroonian, it all began in his home country, playing at the Kaji Sports Academy in the early 1990s. It was from there he was picked up by Real Madrid, who had spotted his bright potential, but failed to capitalise on it. He played for their second team and went out on numerous loans, but it was a loan spell to Mallorca, where he settled in well, and in 2000, he would sign for them permanently. Over the next few years, Eto'o would enhance the gleaming potential he had shown, and which had made Real Madrid so intent on closing a deal for him. During his initial loan, he would bag 6 goals in 13 games, a fine record for a young player hundreds of miles from home and looking to rebuild his confidence. During his time as a permanent player, he would do even better. Over the 4 years he was at the club, Eto'o would score 70 goals in 165 games, as Mallorca became acquainted with both ends of La Liga. At their best, they qualified for the Champions League. At their worst, they only just managed to avoid relegation. Although the team were inconsistent, Eto'o was continuously improving, and even better than the footballer was the man. In 2004, they won the Copa del Rey, with Eto'o scoring 5 goals on the way to the championship. What increased his reputation amongst the Mallorca faithful though, was that he supported the fans who supported him, paying for €30,000 worth of meals to all the followers who had made the trip to Elche for the final. In 2004, as his stock rose and his form only sought to get better, Europe's bigwigs were looking to swoop in. Real Madrid, his former club, were looking to bring the Cameroon international back to the capital and loan him out once again, while Los Blancos' eternal rivals Barcelona were keen to bring him in full time. In the end, it was the Catalan club's proposition that attracted Eto'o more, and having played for Espanyol and Real Madrid, this controversial transfer would come with added pressure. At Barcelona, Eto'o would reach superstardom. Any fears that he may succumb to the weight on his shoulders vanished early on. Still only 23, he showed all the characteristics to become one of the world's best. He carried on his goal-scoring form, netting 25 league goals in his first season, as Barcelona won their first La Liga title in 6 years. Later that year, he also retained his African Player of the Year honour, and he placed third in the running for FIFA's Player of the Year award. If his first season in Catalonia was good, his second was great. Eto'o was always energetic, always on the move, looking to support his teammates in the build-up just as much as he wished to be on the end of moves. His goal-scoring record improved, winning the Golden Boot, but it was in Europe that Eto'o and Barcelona achieved greater success. He played a pivotal role as they went all the way to the Champions League final in Paris, where he put in a man-of-the-match display against Arsenal at the Stade de France.
Ronaldinho is the perfect ball for Eto'o, and Lehmann bringing him down. Oh, it's got to be in. It's a goal by Julie. For Arsenal, and on the bulletin, it's a goal. Iniesta, Larson, and Eto'o, the start for Barcelona. Samuel Eto'o, it's 1-1. He's of know-how to the cause. Belletti, oh, it's gone in. And Belletti can't believe it. It fouled Almunia.
Along with his club career, Eto'o was also doing well for his country. Having made his debut in 1997, he took the indomitable Lions to new heights by winning the 2000 and 2002 Africa Cup of Nations, while also adding the gold medal at the 2000 Summer Olympics. In the 2000 edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, Eto'o scored 4 times, inclusive of goals in all 3 knockout games. 2 years later, in Mali, it was just a solitary goal for him in the group stages, but his contributions elsewhere were admirable as Cameroon defended their title. He built a strong affinity for the Africa Cup of Nations. In the 2006 and 2008 editions, he would score 5 times each, becoming the top goalscorer in the competition's long history, cementing his name in African football folklore. Away from personal honours, however, he wasn't able to add to his medal haul. The success in 2002, his last taste of silverware with his country. Nevertheless, his record for Cameroon has remained unmatched. He was something of an ever-present figure for his nation, appearing in 6 AFCON tournaments and 4 World Cups prior to his retirement. Back at club level, following glory in the Champions League, the forward would suffer from injury issues that would keep him out of action for a prolonged period of time. In the next season, he would suffer further injuries as Barcelona would falter again. He was nabbing the goals and Barcelona were getting solid results, but it was clear that both were capable of more. When Pep Guardiola replaced Rijkaard at the start of the next season, there were doubts over the future of Eto'o. The coach wanted to replace Deco, Ronaldinho, and the Cameroonian, 3 stalwarts who he no longer deemed fit for his side. The Portuguese midfielder was sold to Chelsea and the Brazilian showman to AC Milan, but Eto'o remained, having convinced Guardiola he could be of use. He lived up to his promise of good form. Despite a slow start to the campaign, Barcelona would go on a phenomenal run, with Eto'o, Henry and Messi becoming a fierce trident. In October 2008, Eto'o would claim a piece of history with his trio of goals within 23 minutes against Almeria, making it the fastest hat-trick in Barcelona history, while later in the season he would reach a century of goals for the club with a brace against Real Betis. After 2 seasons of underachievement, Barcelona would enjoy their greatest campaign, winning a historic treble. The league was won in style, finishing 9 points clear of Real Madrid. It was in Europe that they were the most impressive.
Eto'o's opening up. It's 2-0. It's Messi. He scored against an English club now. It's Manchester United.
In the end, this was the most successful season of the forward's career, as he netted 36 times across 52 appearances in all competitions. It would also be his last in Barcelona colours. He would be sold to Inter as part of a deal that brought Zlatan Ibrahimovic to the Camp Nou, but his trophy haul refused to stop growing. Eto'o would win another treble the following season under the tutelage of José Mourinho, the first and only back-to-back treble ever won by a player at 2 different clubs.
Good evening, men. Good evening, everybody. Back into Milito. Transfer into Milan. Milito! With Eto'o for company. Diego Milito. Fantastic run. Italy become emperors of Europe again thanks to 2 Diego Milito goals.
From there he would take his talents across Europe, but his best days came with Inter and Barcelona, where he forged his legend, became the greatest son of his nation, and established himself as one of the finest African footballers ever.